Alright, we know it's been a long time since we've done anything, and that is basically because Kim broke her leg, and then we were planning a wedding, and then we got married, went on a honeymoon, and we pretty much just got back into work, so we haven't had time to do anything. And we kind of realised we don't really have all the time in the world, so we thought, oh, well, you know, people seem to like the cooking that we do and the food that we've been making on our hiking trips, so we decided to just diversify, I guess, and start making you guys some cool food instead. We'll still do some hiking, but it just won't be kind of every single time. But yeah, let us know if you do like these videos of just the food, because I mean, if you do, then we're happy to just keep making cool food because we love cooking.
So we're making bao buns today, bush bao. If you've never tried bao buns, I would recommend because they are amazing. So first things first, we're going to make the dough because it needs about an hour and a half to rise. So we're going to do that now, and then we'll probably go out and chop some more firewood and stuff for later. You want a cup of lukewarm water. That is too hot. So to the cup of lukewarm water, we want to add dried yeast. And 2 teaspoons of caster sugar. So give that all a nice stir around. And then just cover it in some cling wrap and set it aside for about 5 minutes until the yeast activates and it all starts to get foamy. While that yeast is starting to activate, we'll just start mixing together the dry ingredients. We want 2.5 cups of plain flour. And 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder.
We forgot a stick. I mean, a fork or a spoon or just something to stir with, so yeah, we're gonna use a branch.
We also forgot our knives and the Leatherman, so we're using a kitchen knife.
Alright, so see how we've got about a finger width of foam there? Heaps. Really good. Won't always foam that much. As long as it's got some foam, pretty good. So you can see there. Heaps of foam. So it's ready to go.
So now the yeast mixture's all activated, we'll add it to the dry mix. So once you've mixed the dry ingredients with the wet and it starts to come together and form what resembles a dough, you need to turn it out onto a floured surface and knead it until it's smooth. Once we get it to a smooth consistency, we'll put it back into the bowl after we've oiled the bowl, cover it in cling wrap and leave it for probably an hour to an hour and a half. Depending on, I guess, your heat and things, you just want it to double in size. So that's been about 5 minutes of kneading. So the dough is nice and smooth now, a little bit sticky still. So we'll just chuck that in the oiled bowl. Cover it in cling wrap. And we'll just leave that until it pretty much doubles in size.
Basically, we've got to make the fire big enough to put our basically our like cooker grill thing over the top of it, so that we can put the frying pan on there when we're getting that oil ready for the chicken. So I'm just kind of going to make it rough size so that we've got an idea of how big we need to maintain the fire. Yeah, so I'm just going to build it up, and then while that dough's rising, we'll start to get the other stuff prepped as well. So we'll make the slaw, get the fire ready, should be sweet to go. Apple cider, fireball, cinnamon, apple pie. Just a shot. I mean, the ciders themselves, it's almost a full cider in these cups, and the ciders themselves are 1.3. So as soon as you add a shot of fireball, you got like almost 2.5 in each drink. They're delicious, highly recommend, very easy to drink, also kind of dangerous. Don't usually add ice, but our drinks aren't super cold. Voila, apple pie.
Cheers.
Cheers. It literally just tastes like apple pie. It's so good.
the dough has doubled in size, so we're going to start shaping it. We're going to steam the dough in these bamboo steamers. I put non-stick paper on the bottom just so they don't stick. And because they're circular, a good trick is to scrunch up the paper so it fits into the circle better. For the dough, just want to work on a floured surface. You can either put it all out, roll it all out, and then cut it into shapes from there, or you just grab a little bit like that, roll that into a ball. This is probably the best way I've found of doing it. You can see the dough is like super soft and it springs back a little bit. So I think that kind of thickness is pretty good. So once you get that, get a little bit more non-stick paper and put it into the fold like that. So you're making like a little bit of like a sandwich basically. That's just so it doesn't stick together. You just line your steamer. So I'd probably go with like a golf ball size dough ball.
Alright, so slaw, coriander, lombok, cabbage, carrot. If you don't like coriander, don't put it in. You don't have to have it in there. I just love coriander and I think it tastes way better with it. Make sure with your cabbage you cut it nice and fine, because with the slaw you want them nice and fine so it can mingle with the flavours better. At home, use a mandolin. The ones where you literally just grate it like that, nice and finely sliced, but I just have a knife, so. Also for ratios, you need approximately a quarter of cabbage. Fairly similar for the wombok, quarter to half a head, so you want a bit more of the wombok really, just because it's a bit more of a subtle flavour, and the colours of this stuff look amazing once they're in the bowl together. If you have a grater with two sizes, big, small, use the small. Gets through the slaw better. Coriander to be pretty fine, so it's just small pieces throughout. And then even if you don't like it very much, it's just like a different flavour that comes through the slaw. Just want a flavourless vegetable oil and put it just enough in that you kind of cover where the chicken will be. With the chicken, just cutting it up so it fits in the bowl, just like that. You don't want it too fat, then it will take too long to cook. But you don't want it too thin so that it dries out. So kind of just use your judgment basically. Coating, it's called KFC coating. If you want the recipe, we can send it to you later because we don't remember everything that's in it. Rub it in a bit. If you have another plate, use that. We don't. Flip it over and then do it on the other side.
They'll probably take 5 minutes to steam.
The oil, we want to add about 180 or even a bit warmer because once you chuck the chicken in, it's going to drop right down. It should bubble straight away like that. It's gonna get messy. Amazing. So good. Highly recommend. Get on it. Alright. We're gonna get stuck in. Hope you enjoyed the food. Well, looking at the food. Definitely try and make it. Can send some stuff out if you want. Yeah, let us know if you enjoyed it. But bon appetit. Catch you later.